What's up, golfers? This is the pace of change.
It's about family, it's about fitness, it's about fun, and it's about fast.
It's about changing perceptions about the sport of golf. Golf is a fitness sport.
To offer experiences that consumers want.
This is something I've never ever thought of playing, but I actually really think it would be fun.
I had to wait 25 minutes on that tee box. The fact that I'm not doing anything about this is the reason that it persists.
It is undeniably different.
What's up, golfers? Did you miss us? We had a great summer, but we're back now, and it's time to move forward with the pace of change. We're broadcasting the evolution of golf in the 21st century, and let me tell you something, if you haven't listened to any of our first 26 episodes, head over to paceofchange.com. We got the first 26 episodes and show notes and relevant links all over there for you to enjoy endless hours of awesomeness. Our social feed, speed golfer Nick Willis earns another Olympic medal, this time bronze in the 1500. Congrats, Nick. Hey guys, join the faster golf movement today. It's over at our website, paceofchange.com. How can you support us? 1, listen to our weekly podcast, leave a review, subscribe. Step 2, sign up for our mailing list. We're going to send you special offers, product reviews, tell you about upcoming show guests, breaking news, and more. And of course, step 3, the next time you play faster. Promise you'll enjoy it. Hey, podcast sponsors and affiliates that we have also on our website, Rival and Revel, amazing accessories for golf, especially the Silo. Check it out. Sterling Irons, single length irons, Jacob Bowden was on our podcast. LaserLink Golf, Rob O'Laughlin was on our podcast. Hazel.com, Brad Powers, a new way to take lessons online. Encore Golf, Brett Blakely, just shook up the golf industry with the best golf balls ever made, in my opinion. Taylor Brands and Strikingly, 2 platforms that you can use online to get your little entrepreneurial venture up and going. Taylor Brands will help you design a brand with an artificial intelligence engine in minutes. Strikingly, if you know how to write words and you know how to attach images, you can have an amazing website just like the one at paceofchange.com. Alright guys, let's get into it. This is a host-only show with Dude and I, where we catch up after this endless summer that was amazing. We hope yours was just as good. Are you ready? We do it fast. We make it fun, so turn it up and enjoy this episode of The Pace of Change.
Let's talk about that article I sent you about Stacey Lewis.
Yeah, I suppose as far as slow play goes, I don't know how slow it was for the men. I actually didn't keep track of that, but and I only watched the final day. I watched like the final 5 holes.
Let's see if we can find anything on that.
Stacey Lewis basically said it was extremely slow, and that's being nice. I expected 4.5, to 5 hours, but this was 5.5. And then the last paragraph said no penalties were assessed in the round. Well, no wonder it's 5.5.
The only media that you can find about pace of play in the Olympics is about the women. There's only one group of professional golfers in the world who are totally coddled, totally given a free pass on pace of play, and it's the PGA Tour of America. In Europe, they give penalties. They've
been doing it all year long. They've changed their policy, and people have adjusted, and they've scrapped 10 to 15 minutes off their average rounds.
Yeah,
I mean they're doing something. They're actually doing something.
And in America, and in the PGA in particular, the only person who's ever been assessed a penalty is that little kid in the Masters.
No, that's ridiculous. I mean, and maybe pace of play wasn't a problem for the men in the Olympics. Maybe they didn't bring it up because, heck, maybe the slowest players in the world are the ones that dropped out.
Well, Jordan didn't show up, but Jason Day is never. He's another one that people say. People that say he's slow.
Super slow.
Yeah. So Day is slow. Spieth is slow. Who else didn't go?
Dustin didn't go, but I don't think he's slow. I don't think he's slow. I think he's like kind of get up there and hit it. But I don't know who else decided not to go. But I mean, those two guys are maybe the two slowest players in the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Right now, yeah.
All right. What I want to do is I'm going to catch you up on what transpired over the summer.
Okay.
I want to do that because things are starting to move. Things are starting to shake. First thing that happened was that Golf Australia reached out. Their business development director got in contact and said, "Hey, I've been listening to the podcast, and I think it should be required listening for anybody that's in the game of golf to grow it. I think it's a great podcast, and we'd like to talk to you and just kind of get some of your ideas and ask you a few questions and bounce some things off of you." So we did that.
Wow, that is awesome.
It was awesome. So they
and golf. Correct me if I'm wrong. Golf Australia is that's their
USGA
equivalent to USGA.
Absolutely, okay. Yeah. So it was great. We had a conversation. They asked some questions. They kind of explained what their vision is, which is so exciting because they have turned the corner and they're completely committed to golf in the 21st century. Meaning, it's the definition of what the game is broadening, and they don't want to deny that. What they want to do is embrace it. Because if they deny it, what they realize is if they deny it, then it's going to break off and it's going to be fragmented. But if they embrace it, then they can kind of keep it as, quote unquote, one golf. That's kind of the phrase that came out of the conversation was, we don't want all these other, hybrid golf associations out there in Australia running around. We want to embrace it all. We want to be able to help manage it all. And to help grow it all is kind of their perspective.
What a refreshing perspective compared to the kind of very tepid responses that we've gotten from the USGA.
Yeah. I mean, if I ask you to define golf right now, what would you say? What is golf?
What do I think the standard definition is, yes, or what do I want the definition to be?
No, what do you think what if you asked, 100 golfers that, what would they say? Golf is...
Oh, well, I think if you're 100 golfers included a proportionate number of millennials, I think all those millennials their answer would be, it's an old man's game. It's slow. It's people, fat guys riding around in golf carts that are, waste their entire Sunday chasing around a little white ball and a stodgy, rich country club.
Pretty much right on. Now, if you typed in "what is golf" into Google, what do you think you'd see? You'd see like a technical definition of it. Right. And it would include, my guess is it would include something about using golf clubs and golf balls and playing on a golf course. Yeah,
the technical definition would be something like players use limitation of 14 clubs to hit a ball as few strokes as possible into a hole on a regulation course, blah, blah, blah.
All right, so that definition that everybody agrees upon, I think that definition is limited, and I think that that's what we're trying to adjust. Because now tell me, what is disc golf?
Interesting.
What is foot golf?
Mm-hmm.
What is speed golf? What is fling golf? What is rugby golf now? I mean, so now what is the definition of golf? It's awesome. It's broadened. It's bigger. The definition is it's a game where a ball is advanced from a starting point to an ending point.
Not even a ball, right? I mean, a frisbee.
Or an object, a sporting object, whatever. And the broadest definition of it. And I think that's where we should be heading, is to talk about golf in that way. There's traditional golf, and then there's non-traditional golf.
Absolutely.
But all of that belongs as an activity at a golf course. It should be accepted, it should be understood, and all of them should have followings. I think if the information is out there and the people understand there's all these, I mean, can you think of any other sport where you can hybridize so easily, just connect two sports together and then you have a really cool, new, different sport?
No, and I mean, you should see so we started playing speed golf every Thursday morning at Hancock. We didn't play this morning because it's pouring down rain.
Yeah, in Austin.
In Austin, yeah. But we've been doing it for like 5 weeks in a row now, and it's really, really cool. So the locals, right, that are there to play slow golf.
Yep.
And at this course, there's a very small handful of people that want to tee off early, right? There's like literally maybe 5 people, right?
Yeah.
There's like a one twosome and one threesome.
Yeah.
And we show up every Thursday. They know Thursday's our morning. They know who we are now. They think what we're doing is fun. And it's a 9-hole course. So when we come back through for the second 9, they smile at us when we play through them. And they're like, wow, how fast did you play the front this morning?
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. And, they like when we tee off for our first hole, they're, the first time or two, they're like, oh, you guys are going to go in front of us, huh? And we explained to them, we're not going to be in the way. You won't even know we were there.
Yeah.
And every day after that, it's been no issue. Oh, you guys are here again. You're going to go in front of us. Okay, cool. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, yes, there totally is room on the golf course to do these multiple things, but people have to be open to trying it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we're going to be creating a platform for people to be able to experience it. And there's a time and a place. Speed golf doesn't make sense at 11 a.m. Speed golf doesn't make sense at 1 p.m. Speed golf makes sense at first light. And I think over time you can build that perception and that understanding into the golf community where I would hope one day they would always expect if they wanted to play early, they would be like, well, we got to wait for the speed golfers to go first.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's 12 guys that go off every morning, and it only takes them 10. They take the first 10 minutes, and then the course is ours. It's almost like a running group.
I'm glad you said that because that's really what the Thursday morning group has become.
Yeah.
So it's all of these guys that are NCAA track guys.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
and they're not competitive in track anymore, and so they come out and do this. One of the guys is a hurdler, and he loves speed golf.
Oh my gosh!
And his comment was, "Oh yeah, this is perfect for me because I ran hurdles in college because I didn't like just running. I wanted something else to do while I was running. And in college it was hurdles,
yeah.
Right? And now I don't have any opportunities to go hurdle against anybody, and so now I can do speed golf, and that gives me something to do other than just run while I'm running. And it sort of distracts me from the pain of running.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really cool about making it more of a running and fitness group is that what I really realized, I'm a golf purist, you know me, right? I would not move my ball to improve my lie for anything, right? I mean,
sure.
I play with people and they're like, hey, is there a rock rule? I'm like, a rock rule? Well, get out of here, man. No rock rule.
Yeah.
But when we do speed golf, I realize that these guys are runners first, primarily. And so if they get a bad lie or whatever, our general attitude has been like, hey, man, we're here to run the golf course. And so you shouldn't have to be in a situation where,
you're like overly disrupting that flow.
Yeah, exactly. Where it breaks your flow.
Exactly.
So if you get into a situation where, you're in a divot in the fairway, right? Just move it out and hit, man.
Yeah.
It's about the running. It's not about the golf.
And it's not about
now.
Yeah, it's not about taking chances and risking, hurting your wrist and That's exactly right. I think there's a whole, Garland's doing it in Southern California, and they just call it their morning workout. It fits in as part of their overall exercise routine. Is in the summer months for like 12 weeks. They show up every Thursday morning at a golf course. They get in about 90 minutes of exercise on a golf course while they're playing golf, and it's always fun, and they always like to come back because they're trying to beat their score from the last time they played, so now it's become this fun personal challenge, and they play with, a group of other people who are doing the same thing, and then they're kind of challenging each other, so it's this natural community that develops around the idea of exercise, and,
It's such a blast because, for people who don't know, Paresh Shah ran track at LSU. He runs right now like a 14:35K, okay? Whereas I run an 18:55K. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm ever going to beat him running, okay? But we play speed golf, and, he runs the front nine in 24 minutes and shoots 6 over par, right? And I run the front nine in 28 minutes and shoot 2 over par.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, like every Thursday, he's sitting there waiting for me at the turn. He's like, okay, man, I was 24 minutes and 6 over. What'd you shoot?
Oh, so you guys stop after 9 and kind of get a catch up, so you know where you are for the back 9. That's cool.
So we actually have a slightly different twist in there, which is, again, it's great. Okay,
yeah.
So because it's only a 9-hole course, and there's going to be people on the course by the time we're done with 9.
Yeah,
we realize it's kind of futile to run for a time on the back 9.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so what we do is, after the fast guys finish 9 holes, they wait for the slower guys, and then we play the back 9 just jogging, like a cool down, in groups of 3 or 4.
That is so
awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's super great.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Wow.
And we play in groups of 3 or 4 when we're jogging.
Yep.
So in addition to getting that speed 9 holes in and try to beat your personal best and all of that, you also get the camaraderie and the social time and
the talking about what happened the last time you were on this hole 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude, I hit this drive, and then I missed a 4-foot putt for birdie, or whatever.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and there's one hole. Okay, there's one hole on that golf course. We've done it 4 times now. There's one hole on that golf course, number 2, that I have birdied every time we've played.
Oh. That's a nice streak, man. That is awesome. So, that's so cool. I love what's happening. I'm definitely going to come up there and play with you guys one day. I got to bring you back all that camping gear, man.
Oh, yeah. And to anyone who's listening, if you're ever in Austin, you got to come play speed golf with us at daybreak on Thursday morning at Hancock.
I also played speed golf when I was in Park City.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's a golf course called the Canyons, and it's up in the mountain. They have like a little mountain village there. Some of the golf course, like, I don't know, the first 5 holes are on the side of a ski slope.
No way. I'm Googling it right now. Let's see what it looks like.
It's crazy. You're at like, I don't know, 6,800 feet. Switchbacks, for carts. Huge drops off tees. Massive climbs up to the fairways.
Yeah, these pictures look amazing. That clubhouse is no joke either, man. Is that like a hotel?
It's a hotel. Like, yeah, it's like a mountain village. So there's that massive hotel there, and then there's another one right next to it, which is the one we were staying in. And so I got in touch with the director of golf there. I went over and just played in a cart one evening. And then I talked to them about playing speed golf, and they're like, "Oh no, we've already had a speed golfer here." And I'm like,
Who?
And they're like, "I don't know. He was from like the Midwest or something, like Iowa or Idaho, but he said he's a professional speed golfer. And here is his printout from his Nike tracking of the round, and he sent it to me, and I printed it out." And so whoever it was, which if you're listening and that's you, reach out to us. But somebody's been and played the Canyons golf course in Park City. They ran it in an hour and a half, and I think they said they shot 84, 86 or something like that.
Now, normally we would consider an hour and a half to be a slow time, but that golf course sounds like it might be tough to run.
It's like over 6.5 miles. I don't even know how much in elevation gain there is, but it's got to be hundreds and hundreds of feet. It took me an hour and a half to play the round. It probably took me 15 minutes to play the 10th hole because I had to go up 14 switchbacks to get to the back tee of the 10th hole.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was grueling.
So how much is the elevation climb just up to the 10th hole? Like a couple hundred feet?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. So that was a great time. But anyways, we got to talking. Shout out to Justin Johnson up there, the director of golf. But we got to talking, and he was like, "Man, I'm totally open to having like an extreme speed golf event up here. I think that would be so much fun."
Oh my gosh, we should totally do it.
So it's cool to see. It's cool to see all these people who now know about speed golf and are willing to kind of open their golf course to it. That golf course, you actually cannot walk. They make you take a cart.
So when you speed golfed it, though, they were okay with you running it?
Yeah, they're like, we don't allow people to, you have to take a cart. But we've had speed golf here before. We've seen what it looks like. And so, yeah, if you want to go run it, as a speed golfer, go ahead. Yeah.
Wow.
So, so that was a good time. And then actually from there, I ended up in Las Vegas, and I got a call from the GM of Lamborghini Las Vegas a couple months ago.
Nice.
And he wants to have an extreme speed golf event in Vegas. So we came up with the idea. I posted something on Facebook about this a couple months ago, but we came up with the idea of having a speed golf marathon.
Nice.
26.2 miles, which at this golf course, it's Cascada Golf Course. That's where I went and I played speed golf. That was another 6.65 mile length course up and down the side of the mountain in Vegas in 100-degree temperatures. Crazy. But super fun. Great, beautiful golf course. So I went and played that, but we're thinking about having a speed golf marathon there.
Wow, that's almost exactly 4 rounds if it's 6.5 miles.
It is. It's 6.6. It's almost perfect. It'd be 26.2 miles. So we're going to have a couple of individual entries. Then we're going to have 2-person teams and 4-person teams.
Love it.
So you can come out and contribute 1 round, 18 holes, as part of a kind of a relay team.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Then we came up with the idea in the afternoon, in order to kind of more gently introduce people to the idea of playing golf faster or speed golf, we're going to do a 3-hour speed golf scramble. It'll be 4-person teams in carts, just like they normally would. It's a scramble, just like you'd normally go play in any corporate outing or charity event. But those normally last 5.5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
This scramble will be 3 hours because every 10 minutes a horn will blow. And if you haven't finished the hole, you have to take the maximum score and move to the next hole.
Love it.
Yep. So we're gonna do that in the afternoon. And I think that's something that we'll be able to spread across all of our events because it makes a lot of sense. We want to have more people come out. Plus, there can be a charity component to it.
Absolutely.
So we can find kind of a national charity and then find local organizations in each city that can also benefit.
So let me ask you this. I love that format. Have you considered extra points for finishing the hole early?
No, I mean, I'm open to considering anything to make it fun and exciting. I think just the energy level will be up just knowing that you have 10 minutes. I think what people will discover, is that 10 minutes is plenty of time. And I think they're going to finish.
Absolutely.
They're going to finish in 8 minutes and be like, wow. Like, what would be great is actually to have one hole in the competition where the score there is the combination of stroke and time.
Oh yeah.
It's like a true, you know what I mean? And then like the lowest one wins on that way. and maybe it's extra that goes to charity. It's $20 to
Yeah.
compete in this, and the fastest time, wins.
There you go. Love it.
But yeah, just doing stuff like that. So, but it gets more people involved, and you don't have to run, and you don't have to, you can sit in a cart and do it.
Love it, man. Sign me up. I'm in.
So we're looking at next August for that event.
Okay.
All right. Then I went in when I was in LA a few days later. Got to hook up with Garland. We talked. So there's some cool things going on there. But also got to play speed golf with him and his crew. Awesome. They love it. They all wear their shirts every time. And it was a blast. We actually also played an executive course.
Mm-hmm.
And it had 2 9s, but we went off the back 9, and then we went off the back 9 again when we finished. But by that time, there was a few groups that kind of snuck over. They just go over to the 10th tee because they don't want to wait in the first tee, and they tee off. But the first group, we got to 10, and like a couple groups had gone off, and the guys on the tee were like, "Yeah, dude, totally go. This is so cool." They were watching. The group on the green got out of the way, and they were doing what you said kind of the other groups do. Oh, this is so cool to watch you guys. And then we got up to the next group, and they had an attitude about it. Like, they were not happy. And we were there, so they kind of gave us a little grief. And then after the round, when I talked to Garland, he's like, "Oh, those guys out there, man, they were rough on us." So it's still, there's still people out there that kind of look down on it. You guys running all around the golf course, you just get me out of my game.
That happened to me one time. I teed off at a public course here in Austin that was, it was like 20 minutes before dusk, right? I'm like, who in the world would be teeing off 20 minutes before dusk? I'll just try to get 9 holes in before dark,
Yeah, exactly.
And so I ran. I was like, by the 4th hole, I'd caught somebody, and I'm thinking, it's late in the afternoon. Nobody's taking anything serious, right? So I just hit and played through them. And it was a couple of women, older women, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I had my speed golf bag, and I said, "I'm speed golf." And they're like, "Speed golf? What is that?" And I explained to them, and they're like, "I don't think that's right."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, see you around."
I gotta go.
And I finished the hole before they even hit one shot.
Oh my gosh! Wow, man, that's so funny.
But that's literally the only negative experience I've had from people I've encountered on the course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always surprised, and I talk about the negative experiences because they actually rarely happen.
Oh, like I said, I've been speed golfing since 2014, and that's the first time that's ever happened. Only time.
Most people usually laugh and then like make some sort of joke about how they could never do that. That's the most common response I get. It's like, not like, "Oh, that's so cool," but usually they make a joke about it. But it's kind of a joke, like, that's something I could never do, which is totally wrong. I'm always like, no, you can. You actually want to. You want to. You're probably one of those 60% or more that if you took that poll would say, "I would like to play golf 1 hour faster."
Absolutely.
Minimum.
And I would say that a lot of times, at least for me, when people make that kind of response, "Oh, I could never do that." A lot of that revolves around weight and fitness, and they think that they're too heavy and all of that. So here's now my chance to ask you, how much more do you think I weighed in January of 2014 when you and I first played speed golf together?
You're looking pretty sharp now, buddy. So I don't know, maybe you weigh, I think you lost 35 pounds.
45.
45 pounds.
Yes. I was 213 at my heaviest, and I'm now 167.
And the beginning of this journey of weight loss was us playing speed golf in the frigid rain.
Absolutely, it was.
In January or February of 2014.
Yeah. And it was like 35 degrees and raining.
It was, man. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy. And that's what happens is you don't realize, you just forget that you're not exercising. Actually, you're playing a game.
Yeah.
And when you get
No,
done,
I
you're
mean,
like, oh my gosh, I just ran 3 miles. I didn't even think about it.
you look forward to it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. It's happening. This is something you don't know. Happened today. I went out to the Golf Club of Houston and talked to the general manager there, Herb Lipsman, and we had planned to have the Texas Speed Golf Challenge. We were going to do that back, I think, in 2014. Ended up not happening, but I want to bring an event to Houston. So I met with him, we sat down, and here's what we came up with. We're setting a December 2017 date to have the inaugural Speed Golf USA National Championship.
Nice.
And it's going to be on the tournament course where they have the Shell Houston Open.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah. So it's going to be a super awesome challenge, and we're gonna work on getting cameras out there so that they can film it and then replay it during the Shell in 2018.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yep. And so they'll be able to compare and contrast speed golf scores with what they're shooting out there for the tournament.
Oh, I'd love to see guys like you and Hogan and
whoever else is going to come along. Yeah.
Yeah, but particularly the good golfers who legitimately could hold their own against some PGA guys.
I think getting around that course in under an hour is a good run.
It's a long course.
Yeah.
It's a very long course. It's what, 7,400,
Yeah.
7,500?
And the distances from green to tee are not super long, but they're all like 50, 60, 70 yards.
Well, some of them are super long. The distance between 1 and 2, you got to cross that
that's
bayou.
crazy. Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy.
And then the distance between 17 and 18 is the same.
Same thing. You got to cross over the bayou. But on the other side of the bayou, everything is, I think we're going to be running like well over 5 miles, probably 5.5 or more. Maybe even 6.
I would be willing to say that it could be close to 6.
6, yeah.
Maybe over 6.
Yeah. What's really exciting is that, and I know we're both excited about it, hopefully everybody else is, but we've got a series of events that are lining up that we can begin to have. And I know in Southern California, I met with Bob Babbitt, another episode guest. Shook his hand. Yeah, he was having a Challenge Athletes Foundation, which is a foundation he started 20 years ago or 25 years ago. He was having an event, so I came out and met him. He took me through the whole building and explained his charitable foundation that's raised millions, tens of millions of dollars for challenged athletes to stay in the game of life through sports. So that was amazing, and he wants to be involved. He was doing extreme golf back in the 90s. He was having speed golf events in Southern California. So he's a guy that's always said, and he said it on this podcast, golf is a fitness sport. Golf should be used as exercise, and that's where that's where we can begin to grow the game in one way, is by offering these exercise programs and going out and working out while you're on the golf course.
Yeah, and not only that, we're at a place in society where there's so many people who are so far from the fitness that they want, and really any kind of fitness that, they can't go run because they're so far out of shape that running, they can't do that, right? But, could they walk 9 holes carrying a silo with, they probably couldn't walk 9 holes carrying a 30-pound golf bag.
Exactly, with 14 clubs and, all your golf balls, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and all that. But could they walk 9 holes in a stress-free round of walking leisure golf where you're not under stress to keep a perfect score? You can roll it in the fairway. Nobody's going to laugh at you because you whiffed it or whatever. And
or even if you don't play golf, take 10 swings at the ball and wherever you are on that 10th swing, pick the ball up and walk to the green and drop the ball down in the front of or whatever. The point is, even if you don't play golf, just go out there and get the twisting motion of swinging 10 times. That's good for you.
And the walking. There's so many people that could so benefit from walking, that their whole entire life consists of sitting in their car, driving to work in an hour commute, then sitting at their desk for 8 hours, and then sitting in their car for another hour on their commute home, and then sitting in front of the couch before they get up and do it all over again tomorrow. And, the quality of life is so much better if you would just go walk around the block or walk a few holes on the golf course.
Yeah, man. And there's some people that are out there that's their life, and what I think is great about speed golf is it offers that option. And also, you're not even walking on concrete is
harder.
It's harder. You get to be out on the grass, so even there, it's good for you. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited about what's happening. These events are lining up. We've got kits that we're developing for golf operators. So there's a lot of things going down in the world of speed golf. Foot golf, the AFGL has almost 500 courses that are certified or affiliated with the AFGL. And so we've now got a relationship with them, which means we've got a relationship with all those golf courses. And, that's awesome. This partnership is really going to be huge. So all these things moving forward are exciting, and we want everyone to be involved and everyone to continue to play speed golf, pick up the pace. One of the things we haven't talked about that we need to talk about is the Nike move out of golf.
Oh, yes.
Out of golf equipment. Yeah, so the stories I've been hearing coming out from kind of the mainstream golf media is of course what I thought it would be, which is, they're out because golf is in decline and because Tiger's done, and because if you look at their history, they never really quite got it with equipment and stuff like that. And I don't disagree with that. To me, Nike is a company that's all about innovation. That's how they continue to thrive, is they just keep moving forward and forward and forward. So I think their attempts at innovation in the golf industry were good. Maybe not all of them worked out. But in my opinion, this Nike making that big of a move only means that other people are going to follow in their wake, in my opinion. So
so I agree, but Adidas almost made the move first by announcing that they wanted to sell TaylorMade.
It's true. TaylorMade and Adams, right?
Yeah, and they announced that earlier in the spring, like almost winter. They announced it in like February or March.
Yeah, so two of the largest global athletic brands, number 1 and number 2, really, basically, are out of golf equipment. And they're focusing on, what are they focusing on? Nike said we're going to move our innovation towards apparel and footwear. And what does Adidas do? Apparel and footwear. So one of the reasons why I think that's also happened is because of that report that came out by all of the global tours that was discussing driving distance and how far the ball goes, and as technology really made a difference. Do you remember that report?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And basically they spoke out of both sides of their mouth. They were like, the ball's not going any further, really, even though that's, if you just look at anecdotal evidence, if you just watch a golf tournament, people are hitting it regularly 350 yards plus today. And a 300-yard drive in 1998, 2000 was like, dude, Tiger just hit it 311 yards. That was amazing at Pebble. And now 350, 365, it's happening every week by multiple people.
The very first day of the first hole of the last round of the U.S. Open, Dustin Johnson hit it 378.
Yeah, so 378. Okay, it's like long drive distance, out on the PGA Tour. Not only that, if it wasn't happening, it's almost like a punch in the face to the marketing departments and to these big manufacturers, because what do they market every year? this is a club that's better, that's completely, totally innovative, and the ball goes further and straighter. Every year, every time they release a new product, it's better than the last one, and it goes a little bit further, and it goes a little bit straighter. And so then this report comes out that says, no, that's really not true. I mean, it's not going that much further. However, our recommendation is going to be that we now put a cap right here on innovation in equipment. Is basically what they said. We don't want the ball going any further, which means innovation, done. And I think for that reason, I think Nike, I think they probably saw that report and were like, the era of innovation in equipment's over. Because they're going to start making rules.
Yeah. So you could be 100% right. I have a slightly different take.
Yeah.
So my take is that, so one of the things that Nike cited in their exit was that sales were down 7% this year over last year. So it was either 7% or 7 million, but they were down from last year. And I think that what has hit every manufacturer is, and look who's staying in the business, okay? The two big players who are staying in the business are Titleist and Ping. And what do those two companies have that's totally different than what Nike and TaylorMade are doing? And what I see that's different is the development cycle. So TaylorMade in particular, and Nike to a slightly lesser degree, they have sped up the development cycle so that now instead of coming out with a brand new flagship driver every 2 or 3 years like it was when, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now TaylorMade comes out with a brand new $600 or $700 driver, flagship driver, every 6 months. And the marketing message is exactly what you said it is. This goes further, it's straighter, it's longer, you have to have it. If you don't have it, you're going to be at a competitive disadvantage. And I think what has basically happened is that those two companies essentially have killed the goose that laid the golden egg, which is their customers, right?
Yeah.
They realized, hey, all we have to do to make people buy new clubs is market them and tell them that it's longer and they have to have it.
Yeah. Except golf isn't a smartphone.
Yeah, right. And not only that, golf's already an expensive sport. And now you're telling people to buy a new $600 driver every 6 months.
Yeah.
And I think customers finally just put their foot down and said no.
Yeah.
The La-Ti-Da XYZ driver from last year is just as good as the La-Ti-Da XYZ 2 driver from this year.
Yeah.
They're not that much different. And I think both income inequality coupled with the reality that the new equipment doesn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
And the cost it's just too much. And if you look at Titleist and Ping, they have much longer development cycles. Titleist only comes out with new stuff every other year.
Yeah. Mizuno is even less. Mizuno's like...
Oh, yeah. Mizuno never changes their clubs.
No, they just came out with a new iron. And it's probably... I think they're doing about every 24 to 36 months as well. I appreciate that. To me, it's like we let enough time go by for like innovation to happen in all of the different things that we use to make our clubs, that enough time has passed for us to really come out with something that's actually different.
Well, here's the way I look at it. Okay, so when should you really buy new clubs, right? You should really buy new clubs when your old clubs are worn out.
Yeah.
Right? Just like any other thing, right? You don't buy brand new shoes just because they come out with a new tread pattern on the bottom of the shoes, right? Yeah. If your current shoes are still good. And so similarly, the development cycle of like every 2 to 3 years, if you're a super avid golfer, meaning you play 100 or 200 rounds a year, right? So 100 rounds a year would be twice a week.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to wear out your grooves and chip up your clubs from having bad lies and hitting rocks and stuff like that over that 24-month period, you know. And plus hitting at the range, you know, if you're playing 100 rounds of golf a year, you're hitting another, you know, whatever, 300 buckets a year.
Yeah, but you're also somebody who obviously can afford a new set of clubs whenever they want it.
Well,
they're playing
I don't
100
know.
rounds a year, and I mean, maybe they're a member of a club. You know?
So I posted in 2015. I posted 143 rounds. Posted, meaning
You played more.
that doesn't count my practice rounds. It doesn't count scrambles. It doesn't count.
You're never going to be able to do that much anymore because the USGA won't let you post rounds where you play by yourself. Ha ha ha.
That's totally true.
But anyways, I'm glad I got to catch you up kind of what happened over this summer. I think we should do this frequently. Let's update each other on the progress of what's happening in the world of speed golf and things that we hear about, because I think speed golfers want to know that. They want to know that they're part of something bigger that's really happening.
Absolutely. And if there's a listener who you're have a small group in your town where you're playing speed golf, contact us. Let us know. We'll give you a mention on the air. Hopefully, you know, maybe one or two guys more can come out.
Yeah, yep. And visit our website, paceofchange.com. You can go there, and through there's tons of different links. If you're out there and you listen to this show and you haven't really been to the website, there's show notes for every single episode, the first 26 episodes. And within those show notes, there's different links to things that we talked about. And so there's just really a wealth of information on our website that people can go to. And if you want to become part of a group and see if speed golf's happening in your city, send us an email. We want to communicate with you guys that are out there listening. So talk to us, and we'll definitely answer. All right, dude. Good times. We'll talk soon.
Catch you again.
All right, man.
Bye.
All right, guys. Episode 27 in the books. We hope you enjoyed that podcast. Great way for us to catch up. Hope you're excited if you're a speed golfer to know 2017 is going to be even better than this year. Lots of events lined up, lots of education and information headed out to golf operators so that they can pass it on to their customers to let people know these alternative formats that we're talking about, specifically speed golf in this case, are things that people can enjoy, that don't require as much skill, as much time commitment, and certainly the financial resources that are required to master a game and enjoy it. It's a great game. I love golf. I wish everybody would try it. I wish everybody would hit a bucket of balls. But in these days and times, there's just so many other things you can do on a golf course. That's what we want to make happen. You know, you can support our efforts as well. Follow us on Facebook /PaceOfChange, over at Twitter @PaceOfChangePod. Visit our website. We've talked about it a lot, paceofchange.com. And sign up for our newsletter. Going to keep you up to speed on the latest POC podcast news, announcements, and updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post all of our podcasts up on our YouTube channel, as well as on iTunes, Player FM, and other places. So you can help us by subscribing. And most importantly, leaving a review on iTunes. So if you're enjoying these podcasts, do us a favor. Take 5 minutes of your time. Head over there and fill out a review. Let us know what you're thinking. And let everybody else know what you think about this podcast. Remember, every action that you take makes a bigger difference than you can imagine. So thanks as we continue to grow our reach and let people know golf is on the rise. Things are changing. Things are happening. And we're excited about it. All right. Until next week, pick up the pace. Play from the heart.